This is Fox 31 News.
Welcome back, 7:43 now. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD, is a neurodevelopmental disorder affecting both children and adults around the globe. Shawn Talbott is here joining us today, and he's here to talk about how advocates are using October as ADHD Awareness Month.
Right, that's a mouthful. ADHD Awareness Month, exactly. And we want people to realize there are natural options for people to try before they have to go to, a Ritalin or an Adderall or one of those synthetics that can have a lot of side effects.
So first, before we get to all of that, what are some of the misconceptions about ADHD?
Well, people think that ADHD is just a kid's thing, and it's not just kids. Kids get diagnosed with it because they can't focus in school and they're rambunctious and things like that, but it actually affects a lot of adults, and that can be one of the key reasons that adults are not thriving in their lives and in their jobs because they can't focus.
Interesting. And so now you had mentioned, obviously we think of medication like Ritalin right away, but you don't have to necessarily rely on it.
That's right. In a lot of countries, Japan, New Zealand, lots of places in Europe, will use natural options first to see if we can get people from that anxious, tense feeling to focused and calm relaxation without going to one of those drugs.
And so this really works for some people.
It works like crazy. In fact, there have been some good studies recently showing some of these natural options are equivalent to the drugs. And so I say, as a nutritionist, go natural first before you go to that synthetic.
So you brought us some props today. Let's talk a little bit about some of these natural remedies, or the do's and don'ts, if you will. What have you got for us?
Yeah, a lot of times when people can't focus or they're just sort of off their game, they'll think, I need some sugar or I need some caffeine. And we don't want people to do that. We don't want people to necessarily load up on those because they can have an anti-focus effect where you start getting jittery and you can't really get into your game.
So sugar cubes, no.
No, sugar cubes, no. But a little bit of sugar can actually be a good thing. So here we're talking about dose. That's 5 grams of sugar right there. We can get healthy versions of sugar in fruit. So an apple would be a good choice because you have not just the sugar, you have fiber, you have flavonoids like quercetin. I love green tea as an option to go with because you're getting a little bit of caffeine. You can put a little honey in there for some sugar, but you're also getting an amino acid called theanine that can relax you and help you focus, so you get the benefits of caffeine, but you also get a relaxation effect. In Japan, this is used as first-line ADHD therapy, so it's a great thing to try.
Now, the pomegranate juice.
Pomegranates are wonderful because pomegranate juice or the pomegranate seeds can open up your blood vessels and deliver oxygen and nutrients to your brain to really wake up your brain. And one of my favorites these days is saffron. Just this spice. This has shown equivalence to things like Ritalin for focus and equivalence to Prozac for mood. So if you can get some saffron into your diet or saffron in a supplement, that is a great way to wake up your brain and get yourself into that zone.
And it tastes good too.
And it tastes good. And all of these things taste good. So why would we not want to plug them in?
Well, thank you so much, Shawn, for being here. We really appreciate the very insightful information.
My pleasure.
Let's get a check of the weather.